Hello, good morning, Darry. It's a late morning in October, and this is part two of my story to fit a 28 section jumbo sized tyre to the Ultegra 6800 wheel set that I ordered from Wiggle. Now, it's not gone according to plan, and why is that? Well, I've had problems mounting the cassette in a nutshell, so let's just zoom in if we can onto this cassette. So this is a Shimano Ultegra 68 cassette, and at the edge here, you can see there's like a ridge, and here is the largest Dura-Ace 9000 11-speed cog. You can see there's a slightly raised edge. You can see this. There's a slightly raised edge all the way around this. So that raised edge is going to mate with these bumps here. In other words, it doesn't sit flat. It sits just on those bumps. So this is of course keyed. So if we rotate that round to the thinny bit, and then try to find the matching bit, which is here. Right, that fits on there. Now, I won't show the whole cassette because we've only got one hand and it's difficult to do. But that's the mounting of the largest part of the cassette onto the FreeHub body. And what happens is that it's loose. So when it's tightened up with the full cassette on, I find that it's loose. So if we look at the FreeHub body, I'm trying to hold it, this wobbles like this. It's not as pronounced as that, it's only like a millimetre or two. But it's sitting up against these ends. It's not sitting flat, and it can't sit flat because the back of this is a raised section, and here is a set of bumps. So it can only sit against the bumps. So something about this cassette means to say that when the whole cassette is applied, it's loose. I've contacted Wiggle about this situation, and I mean the awkward situation is that we're living in Switzerland. Now, when you live in Switzerland, the situation is that when any good above 60 Swiss francs is imported, you pay VAT to Swiss customs, and you also pay an inspection administration charge. It's also very difficult to get that charge back. And further, if I was to send these wheels back, not only is the cost of sending them back, there's the possibility of them getting charged import duty into the UK. And when Wiggle would send me the replacement wheel, no doubt Swiss customs would again try and charge me the admin charge and another set of VAT on the wheels, which I'd already paid on the first set. So I've asked Wiggle whether they could perhaps send me a replacement FreeHub body, which is this bit here. Now, on Shimano wheels, I understand, I've never taken one off, but it's not a simple process. On some wheel sets, like the Eastern wheel set, this component can be removed without taking out all of the bearings, so it's a much easier process. On Shimano's, this FreeHub body is sort of integrated into the entire bearing mechanism, so it would be complete pain to take it out. Nevertheless, it's presumed that the machining of this body is somehow slightly too thin, and that's why when these Dura-Ace components are put on there, they're sort of wobbling like this. And in fact, when they're screwed down, they wobble even more. So, in terms of due diligence, I've taken off the other. I have a working wheel, which is here, from the existing wheel set. So this is the existing C24. I've taken off this cassette and I've mounted that cassette onto this new Ultegra, and that wobbles as well. So that points to the fact that it's the actual wheel itself and not the cassette. And I've also taken off that cassette and put it onto this existing body, and that doesn't wobble either. Again, that points to the fact there's nothing wrong with the cassette. There's something wrong with the actual body and the FreeHub body of the wheel. So it would appear FreeHub body not too well aligned. I've asked Wiggle a question about compatibility, because is it the case that Ultegra and Dura-Ace are not compatible? I don't believe that is the case. Nothing on Google says that they're not compatible. And in fact, most sources I've seen said they are compatible. So I do believe it's a problem with the wheel. Anyway, that's where we are today. I've sent a message to Wiggle and I'm waiting for their reply. Okay, thanks for watching, Dara. This is part 2 of the wheel fitting debacle. Thank you for listening and watching.